The man had once created the 7 most powerful demon lords in the world. Yet now, these infamous beings had all fallen, reduced to powerless husks. Even the peerless beauty, Lady Feng Xinyang, was forced to sell her charms to attract customers, while the rest relied on their small skills to barely scrape by. And all of this was because their master remained in a deep slumber. Until today, when a maid was wiping his body, he suddenly opened his eyes dazed. Wasn't I already dead? His name was Zhang Fan, once a genius manga artist. Years of overwork had taken his life far too soon. And now when he opened his eyes again, he found himself in a strange new world. After struggling into his clothes, he froze at the sight of a graceful figure blocking the doorway. Zhang Fan stood thunderstruck, for the woman before him was none other than a character from his manga, the demon Lord Feng Xinyang. Before he could react, she threw herself into his arms. At last, you've awakened. I've waited half a year for you. Zhang Fan, pure as ever, hastily pushed her away. Realizing her offense, Feng Xinyang immediately knelt and begged for forgiveness, then gently helped him up, ready to introduce him to the others. She first showed him around before stopping in a wine-scented room. Yai, the master has awoken. Come pay your respects. Zhang Fan's heart jolted again as his eyes fell upon the figure inside, for it was none other than the vampire A Ming, another character from his manga. A Ming stepped forward and knelt. Greetings, my lord. Soon after, Shu San and the woodcutter Fan Li rushed in, followed by the blind man Bei and the zombie Liang Chung. All of them had once been terrifying demon lords he and his companions had created, now brought into this unknown world alongside him. Feng Xinyang raised her cup. Congratulations on waking master. At last we have a leader again. But Zhang Fan cut in at the wrong moment. I've been unconscious for half a year. How did you survive? The demon lords froze. Until now, they had believed this was simply another manga world Zhang Fan had drawn. The blind man Bei explained, from the very first day we arrived here, all of us lost our powers. We've been nothing but ordinary humans hiding here and waiting for you to awaken. Zhang Fan was stunned. These were once beings who could shake mountains with a single step, and now they were mere mortals. But perhaps that wasn't entirely a bad thing. After all, he never had the courage to command them at their peak. He quickly asked, what about Mamoru? Everyone else here had been created by his studio partners, while he had only assisted. Mamoru, however, was the one character he had created alone. With him, Zhang Feng felt secure. Feng Xinyang stepped forward holding a box. Maru said he has no body and no need for food or drink, so he sealed himself within this stone. Zhang Fan knew deep down that the demon lords only showed him surface-level respect. Even Imo Maru, his personal creation, refused to appear before him. After all, how could such beings truly bow to a mere mortal? What he didn't realize was that the demon lords had lost their powers completely. Even the great progenitor of vampires couldn't heal a small cut from a wine bottle. To survive, they've been brewing wine in the tavern just to feed everyone. Zhang Fan walked up to Ai Ming. Ai Ming, let's talk. He asked if they had gathered any useful information these past 6 months. Ai Ming shook his head. I only brew wine. Intel is the blind man's job. Then he spoke bluntly. You don't need to fear us. Sure, we looked down on you, but we didn't abandon you while you were unconscious, and we won't now. You're the reason our story continues. That's why we'll follow you. If you want answers, ask Bei, he knows more. Zhang Fan realized at last. They knew they were manga characters, and that was why they acknowledged him as master. Strangely enough, that was good news. Thanks. Just then, Yiming paused, startled. He realized the wound on his hand had miraculously healed. Meanwhile, inside the tavern, Shu San was passionately telling a tale. Last time, Xiao Yin became a Dozong powerhouse and mastered the art of Chi Horse. The audience erupted in cheers. A Dozong powerhouse so terrifying. Watching Shu San on stage, Zhang Fan could hardly reconcile the storyteller with the demon lord who once loved to cut his enemies in half. Feng Xinyang had run many taverns in a manga, but none as shabby as this one. Turning around, Zhang Fan found a blind man Bei at the door and asked about this world. Bei answered, it seems to be an ordinary world. For the past 6 months, we've only met ordinary people. Zhang Fan glanced at the riders outside astride their tall war horses. Ordinary world, you call those horses ordinary? They rolled his eyes. I wouldn't know. I'm blind. That night, Zhang Fan gathered everyone for a meeting. Now that everyone's here, what plans do you have for the future? Feng Xinyang immediately declared that their opinions didn't matter. The master's will was their will. Zhong Fan stopped circling around. Then let me ask plainly, do you plan to rot away here, or do you want to stir things up? At his words, smiles spread across their faces. Even powerless demon lords could never settle for mediocrity. They had already died once. Better to take risks and do something bold. If they lost, then it was simply game over. The blind man instantly caught Zhong Fan's intent. As the strategist, he began issuing orders. Shui-san, head to the county office and dig up intel. Family, sneak into a merchant caravan and see if there's a suitable place to settle. As for you, Xinyang, you'll entertain a guest tonight. Liang Cheng and Ming, you protect her. Don't let anyone actually touch her. Tonight, we pull off something big. Once the tasks were handed out, the vampire Ming reported the bidder for Xinyang's first night offered an outrageous sum, most likely a young master from a powerful family, and he's brought guards with him. Zhong Fan frowned. If the mark's too tough, forget it. People with that kind of background aren't easy to handle, but Ming dismissed his concern. The harder they are, the greater the payoff. Besides, Xinyang already took the money. If Master wants to help, then here's what we can do. Not long after, Zhong Fan appeared at the tavern carrying a jar of wine. Liang Cheng was already waiting. Master, you must act with caution. Don't push yourself. If anything happens, we'll cover you. Your safety cannot be compromised. Zhong Fan was stunned. Is he actually worried about me? Meanwhile, inside the room, Feng Xinyang only needed a single glance and the man before her was instantly entranced. His soul seized by her allure and the intoxicating novelty of it all. Outside, a guard stood at the door. Seeing Zhong Fan and Liang Cheng approach, he barked a warning. Liang Cheng quickly explained that the wine had been ordered by the innkeeper to be delivered inside. The guard relented but allowed only Zhong Fan to enter. As Zhong Fan passed him, he felt a crushing aura radiating from the man's body and cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Inside the room, the fight had reached its boiling point. The time is now strike. In the next instant, Zhong Fan leapt high, smashing the wine jar straight at the guard. At the same moment, Feng Xinyang lashed out, her legs clamping tightly around the young master's neck. Outside the window, Ming heard the commotion. He drove a spike deep in his palm, tasting his own blood as raw power surged violently through him. In a flash, he shot into the room, driving a hairpin straight into the young master's neck. With a scream, the man collapsed unconscious. Outside, the wine jar exploded against the guard's head, but the man was monstrously strong, completely unfazed. He drew his blade and swung at Zhong Fan. Zhong Fan was too slow to dodge, death looming before his eyes. Suddenly, Liang Cheng's gaze flared blood red as he ripped a corpse nail from his body and flashed behind the guard for the kill. Yet the guard seemed to have eyes in the back of his head, instantly twisting his stance and drove his sword straight into Liang Cheng's torso. Liang Cheng remained expressionless, slamming the corpse nail deep into the guard's flesh. The guard mind reeled, such a reckless attack. Is he a death warrior? With a roar, he released a violent burst of energy, blasting Liang Cheng away. His instinct screamed danger. He rushed inside to check on his young master, but Ming was already waiting in ambush, lunging at him. The guard instantly sensed the killing intent and countered with a swift strike. Ming was nailed against the wall, blood spraying across the room. But instead of weakening, his body trembled with excitement, and he broke in a manic laughter. He threw back his head, revealing two razor-sharp fangs, and the next moment sank them deep into the guard's neck. The guard's blood drained rapidly, his body shriveling before collapsing lifeless to the floor. Ming, however, stood tall and scathed and licked his lips with satisfaction. That familiar taste, it's back. A violent surge of energy erupted. His full demon lord form unleashed once more. Everyone watching was left stunned in disbelief. Feng Xinyang rushed forward, demanding to know how he had regained his strength. When she learned it was connected to their master, her eyes widened. She turned towards Zhong Fan with a hungry, dangerous gaze, already scheming how she might draw power from him too. Zhong Fan's scalp prickled under her stare. Xinyang, what are you planning? He asked nervously. She bowed gracefully. The prey has been caught. Allow me to escort you back to rest, master. Then with eyes like silk, she added sweetly, leave the rest of them. The scene shifted. Liang Cheng eyed the box and asked Ming, does lying in this thing help you regain strength? No. That's just a hobby. You're a zombie, aren't you? Don't you get it? Not at all. I prefer a bed. From behind came the voice of the blind man Bei. It seems I miscalculated this time. Ai Ming shrugged. A world with real challenges is far more exciting. After tonight, we can consider our first exploration of this world a success. You all keep busy. I'll interrogate that young master, but Ai Ming interrupted. Let the master interrogate him personally. The two froze. Wait, was that flattery? They stepped forward. The master won't do such things. In the end, it'll still fall to me. A Ming countered, no matter what, he is our master. The formalities must be observed. Bei smiled faintly. So that's why you were the first to recover? We agreed to hold back, yet you secretly snuck ahead. Liang Chung looked baffled. What the hell are you two talking about? Did you do something nasty with the master behind our backs? Ai Ming let out a long sigh. No. I believe my strength returned because I earned the master's trust. Since we were all created by him, there must be a bond that ties us. To regain our powers, we need his recognition. As Zhang Fan soaked in the bath, countless thoughts swirled in his mind. From outside, the blind man Bei's voice called, Master, should you personally interrogate the young fish? Zhang Fan shook his head. No need. Leave that to you. Then once the questioning is done, I'll compile the intel and report back to you. Zhang Fan couldn't help but wonder, why were they suddenly so eager to please? After bathing, just as he was about to rest, an eerie voice echoed behind him. Startled, Zhang Fan turned to see Liang Chung. The zombie's voice carried a chilling tone. Master, it's late. Is something wrong? Liang Chung said nothing, simply staring straight at him. Zhang Fan placed a hand on his shoulder. How's your wound? If something's on your mind, tell me. I may not be strong, but at least I can listen. The next moment, Liang Chung placed his own hand on Zhang Fan's shoulder, face filled with concern. Master, don't step forward like that again. Zhang Fan froze. Was this guy being sentimental in the middle of the night? He forced a laugh. Got it. I'll go check on the interrogation. You do as you like. With that, he turned and left, leaving Liang Chung standing stiffly in place. When he came back to his senses, Liang Chung crouched, covering his face. That was so embarrassing. Yet, in the next instant, a thick surge of blood qi gathered around the wound on his chest. Meanwhile, the once feared Bei who had drenched the Zhang, who in blood now flattered the master with enthusiasm, briefing Zhang Fan on this world. Master, this world is unlike anything before, far more intriguing. Please let me explain. We are currently in Tigerhead City under Beifeng County of Yin State, roughly the size of a province. This place borders the northern tribes, so small skirmishes break out often, though nothing major. First, because the tribes are too scattered to unite. Second, because Yin must guard against Qin, Chu, and Jin to the south, so its focus remains in the central plains. Aside from minor kingdoms, the major powers now are Yin, Jin, Chu, and Qin, 4 states in stalemate. What's more fascinating is that this world has not only cultivators and warriors, but also magic and battle qi, all ranked by 9 grades. The guard we killed yesterday didn't even qualify as 9th grade. Now we have 2 paths. First, search for way home. Zhang Fan cut him off. Scratch that. Tell me the second. Base smiled faintly. Second, we claim Tigerhead City is our base, build our power, and contend for the world. That is my plan, Master. Please give your judgment. Zhang Fan nodded. Your planning is solid. I have no objections. Bei rose, bowing low. It is all thanks to your wise leadership, Master. Zhang Fan rolled his eyes. That flattery is way too stiff. Just say what you mean. Master, what I truly seek is your trust. Of course I trust you, Zhang Fan replied. But Bei remained bowed. No, you don't. I need your real trust. Still not yet. Please, Master, trust me. As he spoke, a leaf from the dish floated lightly into Bei's bowl. Only then did Bei smile with satisfaction. Thank you for your trust, Master. Zhang Fan was left dumbfounded. Maybe it was best to keep his distance from this guy. A swirl of spiritual energy gathered around Bei. I'm done licking. You can continue now. Later that afternoon, while Zhang Fan strolled aimlessly, a rhythmic knocking sound caught his attention. Shui-san was hard at work fiddling with something on the table. Zhang Fan leaned closer. Shui-san, is that a sand table? Yes, Master. Since we're settling in Tigerhead City, a strategic map will help us plan ahead. Watching him work so earnestly, Zhang Fan couldn't help but smile. Good job. Keep at it. I'll look around elsewhere. After Zhang Fan left, strange popping sounds crackled through Shui-san's body. He coughed violently, staggering as if about to collapse. but in the next instant, he pressed a single finger to the floor and forced himself upright. In that moment, he understood his strength had returned. Meanwhile, Zhang Fan still couldn't figure it out. Why did Bei and the others seem so off while Shusan felt relatively normal? Just as he prepared to rest, Shui San's wild laughter echoed through the night. Another one gone mad. Distracted, Zhang Fan failed to notice the step at his feet and stumbled straight into the room. The next moment, he crashed into something soft and dread filled his heart. Damn it, this is how I die today. At that critical instant, Bei pushed open the door. Master, a teapot flew across the room. You blind fool. Ever heard of knocking? You ruined the mood. Bei coughed lightly. Master, bad news. Bean's entrance is in trouble. Cut to the hall. An armored officer stood arrogantly. The court is conscripting. Based on your household registry, you must provide 4 men. Feng Xinyang hurried forward, playing the victim. Sir, our Ali left with a caravan, and Ming is bedridden with illness, and all that's left is a blind man and a dwarf. Surely can see. The officer snorted. The cripple don't count, but those 2 behind you look healthy enough. They'll serve. He turned sharply. Report to camp before noon tomorrow. Fail and you'll be executed as deserters. Feng Xinyang bowed repeatedly. Yes, sir. Safe travels. Once they were gone, Bei quickly proposed, first option, we pack up and flee Tiger Head City tonight. Zhang Fan cut him off. Leave? After half a year building this place as a base, that'd be a waste. Besides, raising the banner of rebellion isn't realistic yet. Bei immediately flattered him. As expected, Master thinks further ahead. Then he ordered Shu San to join his backup. Feng Xinyang insisted on coming too, but Bei sneered. What? To charm soldiers in camp. He straightened coldly. We as subordinates should clear obstacles for our master, not add trouble. Zhang Fan knew the truth. If he wanted to lead them, he had to grow stronger, stand taller, and see further. The next day, the 3 of them entered the military camp. No sooner had they registered than they were ordered to march with the army. Liangqing's sharp eyes noticed. We're supposedly transporting grain, but there are no tracks of an army ahead. No targets, no numbers, nothing. At that moment, a shadow slipped into the command tent. Master, I found a problem. I checked the wagons. Every single one is filled with stones. A chill ran down Zhang Fan's spine. Later that night, Liang Chung reported again, something's bound to happen. There are only 200 cavalry here. The rest are conscripted peasants and there are barely any sentries. Zhang Fan's face hardened. So we're bait. That night, a soldier stepped out of camp to relieve himself. A shadow loomed silently behind him. Before the soldier could even cry out, his throat was slit clean and he fell lifeless to the ground. At that very moment, the entire camp erupted in chaos as simultaneous attacks struck. Screams echoed everywhere. A barbarian soldier crept up to a tent, lifting the flap and preparing for an assassination. When a massive hand shot out from the darkness, seizing his throat, the figure revealed himself, none other than Liang Chung, the zombie demon lord. The 2 guards outside sensed something was wrong and rushed forward, but a flash of steel cut through the night. Shui San had already slit their throats. From within the tent, Zhang Fan stepped out slowly. Suddenly, an arrow whistled into the night sky with a piercing screech. From afar, barbarian cavalry thundered forward. Kill. Leave no one alive. The camp descended into hellish slaughter, screams and corpses everywhere. Shuisan muttered, Master, should we retreat? This is far too dangerous. But Zhang Fan smirked. I heard barbarian heads can be exchanged for reward and military merit, right? Shuisan froze then chuckled darkly. Truly our master, ruthless as ever. Just then a barbarian soldier spotted them and immediately spurred his horse charging with blade raised. Liang Chung moved in a flash shielding Zhang Fan. Shuisan darted forward, a twisted grin on his face and his blade flickered past the rider's eyes. The barbarian clutched his throat in disbelief before collapsing onto his saddle. Even more terrifying, Liang Cheng's eyes glowed crimson as spectral hands of condensed malice formed behind him, slamming down upon the war horse's skull with thunderous force. Horse and rider were hurled to the ground in a bloody heap. Liang Chung pinned the soldier down and turned towards Zhang Fan. Master. Zhang Fan understood, raising his massive 40-meter blade and bringing it down with savage force. The strike carved through flesh, blood spraying in all directions. Zhang Fan licked the blood at the corner of his lips, the faint sweetness sending a thrill through his body. He stared at his hands in disbelief. I killed someone? But this feeling, it's not bad at all. Picking up a fallen long sword, he thought grimly. Wolves never accept a sheep as their leader. If he wished to command demon lords, he had to become a wolf fiercer than any. Just then, the pounding of hooves roared at the camp's edge. It was Yan's hidden cavalry finally making their move. As the Yen riders surged into the camp, the battlefield exploded into a frenzy of blood and steel. Liang Cheng's cold voice cut through the den, forcing conscripts as bait, while the main force waits to ambush. This general is truly vicious. Suddenly, both men stiffened. An iron sword screamed through the air, carrying deadly intent straight at them. Master, look out! Shui San tackled Zhang Fan to the ground, narrowly saving him from a fatal strike. The three looked up to see a towering barbarian warrior, muscles like iron charging with a massive blade. Liang Cheng snatched up a long sword and met him head-on. Their weapons clashed with a thunderous crash. Energy surged, sending violent shock waves rippling around them. Zhang Fan's face paled. This is no common soldier. Another one glowing with power. Liang Cheng stared in shock at the shattered remnants of his sword. The barbarian sneered, "Your blade is broken." He shot forward, roaring, "Let's see how you fight now." Liang Cheng dodged to the side, voice cold. "I was never good with swords anyway." At once, a ghostly claw shot out, its nails sharp as daggers. With a wet crack, a burst of blood exploded from the barbarian's chest as his torso was pierced through. An arrow whistled through the air, striking Liang Cheng's arm. The barbarian seized the chance and kicked Liang Cheng flying. From a distance, the archer warned, "Something's wrong." That shot could pierce armor, yet it barely scratched him. Shuesan appeared behind him like a phantom. "You should worry about yourself." Two daggers plunged deep into the archer's back, then ripped downward, splitting him clean in half. The barbarian roared in fury, seizing Liang Cheng and raising his great blade to cleave him apart. At the last second, Zhang Fan leapt forward, slashing his sword toward the barbarian's head. The warrior flung Liang Cheng aside and turned, swinging his own blade at Zhang Fan. But mid-swing, blood gushed from his mouth. His eyes widened in horror. He had been poisoned. He realized too late that Liang Cheng's nails carried corpse venom. In that instant, Zhang Fan's massive blade came crashing down with a sickening crack, severing the barbarian's head from his shoulders. Zhang Fan leaned on his blade, panting, heavily drained of strength. Liang Cheng stepped forward, offering a steadying hand. As he looked at his master, Bei's words echoed in his mind. "You all may look down on him as a mere mortal, but never forget he created us. Our power exists because of him. Give him time and he will grow into a leader truly worthy of our loyalty." Regaining some breath, Zhang Fan saw Yan's army stabilizing the battlefield and ordered his men to tally the spoils. Suddenly, Shui San exclaimed, "Master, we've caught a big fish. A live capture of this old man would be worth far more merit, right?" Zhang Fan's expression darkened. No. He saw everything. The old man trembled violently, pointing at Zhang Fan, a demon. Zhang Fan grinned coldly. "Hey, you guessed right." Meanwhile, a Yin army squad was combing the battlefield. Their leader spotted Zhang Fan's group and barked, "Who are you people?" His eyes fell on what Zhang Fan carried and he gasped, "That old man's a high-ranking figure for mere peasants to stumble into such merit. Too bad." He sneered, ordering his men to cut them down and claim the credit. Shuesan growled, "Shameless dogs, trying to rob us blind." But just as the squad leader thought victory was his, a blade of light sliced through the air. In an instant, the leader was cleaved in two, falling from his horse in a spray of blood. A beastly roar followed. The newcomer was none other than Li Qian, daughter of the northern Marquis of Yan. "You wash up and come on my ship. No to my tent tonight." Zhang Fan stood nervously outside the princess's tent. Meanwhile, outside, Shuesan smirked as he gossiped. "You think our master's gonna get lucky with that princess?" Liang Cheng, the zombie, scoffed coldly. "That woman isn't worthy of our master." Schweiss and clicked his tongue. "TCH, you're licking boots harder than ever now," Liang Cheng sneered. "With us around, master will claim the finest woman this world can offer. Haven't you noticed? He's improving every day." Shuai-san froze, realization dawning. "You mean our strength returning depends on the master?" Liang Cheng explained. "Before he woke, we were all ordinary men. Now not only are we regaining power, but even his body is growing stronger. It's not just us who are evolving." Shuizhen gasped, "Damn, if master loses his purity, wouldn't we be at a huge loss?" Meanwhile, Zhang Feng strode into the tent and dropped to one knee. "Greetings, General." Li Qian glanced at him, her cheeks tinged red. You've earned great merit. I grant you 2 rewards. First, join my personal guard as a retainer of the Lee clan. Second, become Commerce Inspector of Tigerhead City. She leaned forward with a smile. On second thought, come back with me to the Lee family. Your future would be limitless. But before she could finish, Zhang Fan decisively chose the second option. Her eyes narrowed. So you look down on the Lee clan? Zhang Fan outwardly explained he couldn't leave Tigerhead City, but inwardly scoffed. What kind of fool signs up as someone's lackey? About a death sentence. Besides, the 7 demon lords under me aren't exactly vegetarians. Elsewhere, in a bloody mansion, AI Ming stood with blades jutting from his body. The Hound Gang was annihilated. Their next target, the 3-God Society. Someone questioned him. The master hasn't returned. How can you act on your own? They answered calmly. The master will return eventually. We're only preparing early. AI Ming casually pulled each weapon from his flesh. And the caravan outside the city? They're on our list too. They smiled faintly. No need to worry. That's for Madam's task. By now it should be done. At the inn, the caravan leader hung in midair, bound tightly by countless threads. What have you done to us? Sitting across from him was none other than Feng Sinon, the demon queen. She smirked. Did you think my body was free for the taking? Raising a wine jug, she poured a stream of liquor down her throat, her gaze sultry as her thoughts drifted. I wonder if the master's battle is over yet. Meanwhile, Zhang Fan and his men were on their way back to the city. Shuesan sighed theatrically. I wonder if Ali's eaten his fill. With his appetite, he's probably starving out there. Zhang Fan rolled his eyes. You guys licking me every day through Ali is exhausting. Suddenly, heavy footsteps approached. Shui San and Liang Cheng sprang up, shielding Zhang Fan ready for battle. A group of barbarians appeared led by a woman. She spoke softly. The wind has risen. We seek a place to take shelter. The 2 groups sat a few meters apart, each on guard. Then the woman stood and walked toward Zhang Fan's group. She shook a wineskin, offering them a drink. Zhang Fan quickly declined. I caught a chill. No wine for me. Inwardly he thought, who knows if it's poisoned. The woman took a swig herself and said calmly, I am the chief barbarian shaman, and these 2 children are heirs of the Shitoa tribe's chieftain. I rode from the royal court without rest just to save them, and yet you dogs of the northern marquis dare to ambush me. Her hands flashed through seals. Barbarian curse, rise of the dead. In the next instant, her 2 attendants foamed at the mouth and collapsed. Moments later, they jerked upright again, their bodies radiating a suffocating death aura. Their life force faded completely. They were now full corpses. Zhang Fan and his men were already braced. Knew it, this witch was up to something. Zhang Fan smirked, pointing at Liang Cheng. Aren't they half zombies now? Shouldn't you greet your relatives? Liang Cheng bared his fangs and let out a thunderous roar, shaking the ground. At once, the 2 barbarian corpses froze, paralyzed by the sound. The woman's face twisted. She had lost control completely. Pressing 2 fingers to her brow, she hissed, barbarian curse, word of command. Her pupils glowed with an eerie green light as violent energy surged towards Zhang Fan. Yet before her eyes, the man loomed like a primeval beast, terrifying beyond belief. The 2 undead abruptly turned on her, charging with murderous intent. Knowing she stood no chance, the woman grabbed the children and tried to flee, but Shui San was already behind her, dagger poised for a killing strike. At the last moment, the woman unleashed her latent power. Her cloak whipped like a storm, blasting Shui San away. Damn hag, don't you dare run. Shu San hit the ground as she bolted dozens of meters ahead, but Zhang Fan was already waiting in front of her. He only meant to block her path, but to his surprise, she charged straight at him. Left with no choice, Zhang Fan swung his blade in a wide arc. To his shock, the woman shoved the little girl in her arms directly into his strike. Zhang Fan's heart clenched. He instantly reversed his blade, tapping the child aside with a blunt edge to send her safely away. But the woman seized the chance, gripping the sword's sharp side and driving it toward his throat. In the next moment, her eyes went wide. No matter how much strength she used, the blade didn't budge. His grip was monstrously strong. With the undead bearing down on her from behind, she vaulted over Zhang Fan's head, but Shu Sun descended from above, once more dagger gleaming. With a sickening crunch, the blade stabbed deep in her back. She gritted her teeth, lashed out with a brutal kick that sent Shu Sun flying, and used the momentum to stagger off into the night. Shu Sen scrambled up to chase, but Liang Chung barked, "Don't. Controlling those corpses is already my limit. If you go, who will guard the master?" Out on the desolate wasteland, the woman finally collapsed, too wounded to run any farther. Suddenly, a voice rang out. "Lord Corpse, what are you doing here?" She turned to see barbarians disguised as merchants. Seeing her own people, the woman's confidence surged. "Gather the troops. Wipe out the northern marquis lackeys." The group rushed to obey except for one hulking brute who just stared at her. He wasn't staring at her face, but at the daggers still lodged in her back. "What are you looking at? Like what you see, get lost looking at you." In the next instant, the man hefted a massive axe. It was none other than Fan Li, one of the 7 demon lords. Later, regrouping with Zhang Fan, he explained he recognized the dagger. One Shu San had sharpened for half a year. Zhang Fan thought to himself, that woman's luck is rotten, running into family of all people. Family then pulled out some weeds, claiming his restored strength came from eating them these past days. Shwesan rolled his eyes. "If I hadn't been licking the master nonstop these days, you'd still be useless. Dumb luck, that's all." By noon, the group returned to the inn only to find it empty, their belongings looted. Panic set in. They feared something had gone wrong. Just then, an old man rushed out. "Boss, you're back." He explained that Bei and Sinon had secured a new residence days earlier and told him to wait here for the master's return. Meanwhile, inside a grand mansion, the group was in council. They frowned. "We stopped the Hound Gang's human trafficking to respect the master's stance. But why destroy the 3 gods society too? They were a rich source of offerings." They smirked. "The master is a man of culture. He wouldn't want to meddle in religion." Xian Yang exposed him with a laugh. "Your comics back home got axed for the same reason, didn't they? Besides, we're transmigrators. Making perfume and soap will earn more than temples ever could." Just then, news came of Zheng Fan's return. After lunch, freshly bathed Zheng Fan entered the hall. "Everyone eaten? Then let's discuss business." Shu Xin dramatically recounted their journey and the group responded with over-the-top flattery. Zheng Fan sighed inwardly. With this level of licking, no wonder ancient tyrants lost their minds. Bei stepped forward. "I plan to form a secret force outside the city, but now that Master hold the court position, it's all the easier." Zhang Fan had psyched himself up at the door to Project Imperial Authority, but he knew Bei's mind-reading tricks likely saw through him. "Future planning, I leave it to you." Liang Chung added, "Then Tigerhead City has granted you 300 cavalry. That must become our focus." Bei unleashed his full intellect. On paper, the unit belongs to Yen. In truth, they must serve only the master. Shui San and Fan Li will consolidate the gangs. Xinyang, train the new girls you recruited. Pick a few with potential for special training. Liang Chung, while the master hasn't reported to the yamen, train with him daily. Let him guide your technique. He bowed. "Please, master, take the regency." Zhang Fan deadpanned. "You said it well?" While thinking, "Stay with these bootlickers long enough and even my skin is getting thicker." "Wait," Aiming scowled. "And what about me?" They grinned slyly. "Yours is the most important task." "So what is it?" "We're broke. Go collect soap scraps." The next morning, fierce sparring rang through the courtyard. After 3 days of training with Liang Chung, Zheng Fan's stamina had improved noticeably. To reward him, Zheng Fan invited Liang Chung to join him in the bath. Liang Chung shook his head. "I don't like hot water." "Fine. Then I'll go find Xinyang." After Zheng Fan left, a conversation drifted through the courtyard. Ming and Xinyang walked side by side. "Let's release the soap first, make quick money, then expand into other ventures." Xinyang shook her head. "No, we should go high-end, only that will raise our profits." As she spoke, she glanced at the yard. Zhang Fan, who'd just been beside Liang Chung, was gone. Her face paled, panic flashing. She bolted forward shouting, "It's your fault. You made me forget to massage the master." "Master, I'm coming." Ai Ming stood frozen, utterly speechless. He turned to Liang Chung. "Has your baleful aura grown stronger?" Liang Chung shook his head. "No. I think the issue isn't with us. Seems pure cultivation won't cut it. We'll need another method." Just then, a bar of soap fell to the ground with a dull thud. The two fell silent instantly. Ai Ming cleared his throat. "This is my new soap. Pick it up. Try it." Unfortunately, Blind Bei happened to walk by at that moment. "You two really are close brothers." Ai Ming looked up. "Do you need something?" "Meeting at the pavilion tonight. I have something to say." "Fine. I'm done here." You can continue. As he left, they tossed out, "Lucky I'm blind. I didn't see a thing just now." The two stood rooted in awkward silence. That night, under the pavilion, the 7 demon lords gathered. They spoke first. Liangcheng, report on the master's training these past few days. Liangcheng replied, "The master lacks combat experience, has no technique, and his reflexes are still clumsy, but his raw strength is astonishing." Shui-san recalled the master's fight with the barbarian woman. "His strength already surpasses that of trained adult warriors, which leaves me wondering what is the true link between our power and his. Flattering him is necessary, but despite regaining some of our strength, no matter what we try, we can't advance further. I suspect our recovery is directly tied to the master's own growth." Liangcheng used, like in games, the pet can't out-level the player, right? So unless the master grows stronger, we'll always be capped beneath him. They answered firmly, "Exactly." Fan Li suddenly voiced a dark thought. Then, if we kill the master, wouldn't that break the limit? Silence fell like a blade. Liangcheng finally spoke. "When we were still powerless, we swore to protect him. Now with strength returning, greed creeps in. I feel ashamed, but I won't dictate your choices. So drink this cup and forget Fan Li's words along with every stray thought in your hearts." One by one, the demon lords drained their cups in grim agreement. Only then did they speak again. "We all know the truth. If a player deletes their account, the pet vanishes too. Our only path forward is to raise the master's power at any cost. Only then can we truly recover. So the top priority now is to find a master teacher, right?" Aiming scowled, "Damn blind fool. Why didn't you say so earlier? You nearly scared us stiff for nothing." Shuesun laughed. "I never thought that blockhead family would say something like that." Family tilted his head, looking innocent. "So it's my fault?" The next day, the group headed into a canyon. "Bae, are you sure this so-called teacher will pass through here?" Shuesun narrowed his eyes. "Yesterday we just talked about it. And today you've already found one? Sounds like you set this up in advance." Baker didn't explain, only said calmly, "I've learned that a court prisoner will be escorted through here today. He's a ranked martial artist, perfect to serve as the master's teacher." With that, he suddenly sprang up and declared, "Last night we decided to seek a teacher. Today the target appears. What does this mean? This destiny. The master is heaven's chosen. To follow him is the greatest honor of our lives." The others stared dumbfounded. "The master isn't even here. Who are you flattering?" Just then, the sound of galloping hooves thundered closer. Shui cursed, "Damn it, Bae. You're cheating with your mind sensing." Soon, Jiang Fan arrived on horseback, confused. "You're really this desperate to find me a teacher?" Shuai-san tried to speak, but Bae quickly cut him off. "Master, with our power rising, eyes will surely fall on us. To secure our footing, your growth must accelerate." Zhang Fan nodded. "Makes sense. Fine. Let's do it." Bae thought grimly. The master must never know we're suppressed by him. If he recalls family's words from yesterday, everything will collapse. He turned to the group. "Since the master agrees, prepare yourselves." Soon after, Shusan returned from scouting. Another group is watching the target. Looks like trouble ahead. When did finding a tutor get this hard? But hey, Mantis stalks the cicada. The Oriole waits behind. Better to be the Oriole. By nightfall, the rival faction finally struck. Waves of assassins descended on the prisoner convoy. From inside the cage, a man shouted, "Wang Li, take your men and run. They're from the Lu clan of Beifeng. I exposed their treachery. Tonight, I'm as good as dead." The escort captain hesitated, then drew his blade and charged the assassins. "Wang Li, get back here. Your wife is newly pregnant." That man was none other than Ding Hao, former garrison captain of Tigerhead City. Zhang Fan's chest tightened. "You could have lived. Why throw it all away?" Just then, a strange tune rang out, freezing the assassins where they stood. The blind man played his eru calmly, a song to break the heart. Where in the world is a kindred soul? With nothing but his eru, he unleashed ambush from 10 sides, cutting down every assassin before him. The rest panic charged together. Ferniang flicked her fingers, silk threads snapped out, killing 2 assassins instantly. The other demons unleashed their skills. Zombie Liangcheng with his gut-ripping slash. Vampire aiming, spreading rabies with a single bite. Shu Send giving his target a gentle head massage. While Woodcutter family slipped off with the prisoner in the chaos. Liangcheng, a Ming Shu Send hold the rear. Ferniang take the lead. We're breaking out. By now, the Imperial Guards were nearly all slaughtered and Capital Captain Wang Li lay wounded and powerless. Another assassin lunged at the blind man who sneered and played slowly, "Chicken, you are too beautiful." The assassin's eyes bulged wide before his body exploded into a bloody mist. Slung over Fan Li's shoulder, Ding Hao gasped. A half-step 9th rank assassin killed so easily. This place isn't safe. "Ali, retreat," barked the blind man. Fan Li's legs burst with power, carrying him off at lightning speed. As they fled, Captain Wang Li, knowing death was near, begged the blind man to deliver his last words to his wife. The blind man paused, then said coolly, "I will raise your wife and child. Rest easy." Meanwhile, Zhang Fan waited anxiously at the canyon mouth. Still no sign. Worry gnawed at him. Suddenly smoke and rumbling filled the air. Fan Li came barreling through. Target slung on his back. Zhang Fan leapt onto his horse shouting, "Ali, toss him here. I'll put him on the horse." But Fan Li ignored him, screeching as he sprinted past and vanished. "Ali, wait, you damn fool." Soon after, everyone regrouped at the courtyard. The blind man reported, "My lord, we shook off the pursuers. Mission accomplished. Congratulations on your new teacher." Zhang Fan exhaled in relief. "Thank heavens, safe at last." But Shui San cut in. "My lord, looks like Ali ran too fast. This guy might have been shaken to death." Zhang Fan's face darkened. "You think this is funny?" At dawn, after the blind man worked all night, Ding Hao still hadn't woken. Zhang Fan sighed helplessly. All that trouble, only for Ali to shake him dead. Blind Bei muttered, "My lord, I'm actually a psychologist. No pulse, no breath, he's done for. Better bury him. The backyard flowers could use fertilizer. At least last night's effort won't be wasted." Zhang Fan nodded. "Fine." But in his heart, he wondered if he was the odd one out for not being as twisted as his man. Just then, the corpse stirred and Ding Hao miraculously opened his eyes. "Master, since the teacher is awake, let us handle the negotiation." "Fine. Talk properly, but try not to use force." Before long, Blind Bei spoke to Ding Hao. "Your turtle breathing technique isn't bad. Here's the deal. You train to master and we'll guarantee your safety." Ding Hao sneered. "Did I agree to that?" Xinyang's eyes went cold. "I love stubborn men. Let's see if your mouth stays this hard after torture." They quickly stopped her. "This is the master's teacher. We must win him over with virtue." "Still, I just remembered, Captain Wang Li's widow owes me a single coin. Xinyang, please kill her entire family." Ding Hao stiffened in shock. Wang Li had already died because of him. Must his wife and child suffer too? "Fine. I'll teach." Helpless, he caved in. Bei smirked. "On second thought, forget it. Killing a whole family for one coin, that'd be immoral." Meanwhile, a Ming stripped down, posing as a live model. Ding Hao gawked. "Mr. Bei, why not just draw the meridian map? Not vivid enough. A living specimen will teach the master faster." As Xinyang pressed needles around his head, Ming muttered, "Careful. If you break my brain, I'll really die." "Relax. I know what I'm doing. Close your eyes." Soon, the full meridian map was etched across Ming's body. Ding Hao sighed, "Follow this route with your blood energy. After one full cycle, your body will glow. You'll have touched the martial threshold." They turned to a Ming. "Now try channeling once." Ming frowned. "I'm a vampire. What the hell is blood energy supposed to mean to me?" They spouted nonsense. "Just run your empty veins. If it's fast enough to stir the air, that's chi." "Damn blind man, you're sly one." Sweat poured from Ding Hao's forehead. Afraid they'd kill themselves, he quickly said, "Slow down. You must take it step by step." Before he could finish, a crimson aura burst from Ming's body. "Already half-step 9th rank? Impossible. Took me 10 years to reach that." Ding Hao's jaw dropped. Xinyang, watching her reflection, looked eager. A wave of pink energy surged around her. "Nice. My favorite color." Ming sneered. "Doesn't match your age though." She shot back instantly. "Still prettier than your period red. Don't put your clothes back yet. I want to try." Ming groaned. "Does it even matter to you whether I'm dressed?" Bei nodded solemnly. "Cultivation needs a sense of ritual." He traced a finger slowly across Ming's abs. The next instant, a blue aura exploded outward. "See, not that hard." Just then, Liang Chung and the others arrived and Bei ordered them to try the new meridian method as well. Liang Chung's aura shone in flamboyant violet. Shu Sen radiated a fresh natural green. Family roared. An earthy yellow light erupted from his body. From the looks of it, we're all stuck at half-step 9th rank. Not that it's hard, but we just can't pierce that invisible barrier. It's like something unseen is suppressing us, which means our goal is clear. No matter the cost, we must push the master into the ranks as soon as possible. The next noon, Zhang Fan was dragged into practicing the meridian chart, but no matter how he tried, nothing worked. He cursed inwardly. I'm not some freak like them. I'm just a rookie, damn it. Ding Hao observed quietly. Seems the only normal one here is this so-called master. They asked, is there a shortcut? Maybe some external stimulant? Ding Hao nodded. Yes. Some use a drug called 5-stone powder combined with baleful qi to strike the meridians. It scrambles the channels and makes sensing qi easier. They immediately ordered Liang Cheng to stimulate the master's meridians with his baleful qi. Liang Cheng agreed. His qi was pure and easy to control. He flicked his finger and tapped Zhang Fan's chest. The next instant, Zhang Fan's eyes turned bloodshot. He foamed at the mouth and collapsed unconscious. Shit. Liang Cheng, did you forget your nails carry corpse poison? Black energy spread through Zhang Fan's body, his limbs convulsing violently like a seizure. Liang Cheng panicked and withdrew his hand. Ai Ming frowned. Don't tell me the master's infected with corpse poison. Zhang Fan lay limp, unresponsive no matter how they called. Xinyang snapped. How could you be so careless? Keep this up and he'll end up a brain-dead old man. Liang Cheng protested. He had held back his strength and ensured no poison seeped into the master's body, but Ding Hao saw the truth. The master already has immense blood energy within him. Your qi merely ignited it, causing a brief blackout. In fact, your master is a martial prodigy. The group erupted in relief. Good thing it's not a trash tier start. Hours later, Zhang Fan slowly regained consciousness. Master, you're awake. Do you feel the qi? Yes, strong and overwhelming. Ding Hao's eyes lit up. Most people sense qi as faint threads at first. For you to feel it so powerfully, this is true genius. The blind man was just about to flatter Zhang Fan when the others bowed in unison. Congratulations, my lord. With such talent, your rise to greatness is just around the corner. They shot him sly grins, almost let that old schemer steal the first lick of boot. Zhang Fan, long used to this, waved casually. Rise. That night, the blind man asked Shu Sen quietly, what did you go to Ding Hao for? Shu Sen replied, I only asked if there were medicines or methods to speed up advancement. The blind man's tone turned sharp. Don't try anything foolish. Forcing growth will trap the Lord at his current level forever and drag us all down with him. If Liang Cheng or Fornyang find out you wanted to drug him, Shueishan quickly protested, I was just preparing, not actually going to do it. The blind man halted. We've been too hasty lately. Today we overplayed our hand. If the demon pill knew, Shueishan frowned. But hasn't the pill not awakened yet? The blind man chuckled. Tell me, if we keep pushing the Lord, will he stay with us or walk away with the pill once it wakes? Shusan tore the formula, smirking. Blind one, you're clever, but you don't understand the pill's nature. Do you know why the Demon King hasn't unsealed himself? The blind man raised a brow. What do you mean? Speak. Shueishan sneered because the first thing he'll do after waking is kill the Lord and leave just one line. A waste like you dares call yourself my father? After a day of brutal training, Zhang Fan soaked in the hot spring with Fornyang attending him. She asked softly, my lord, have we been putting too much pressure on you? Zhang Fan shook his head. No. Just a baleful aura. Feels like a fever. He dismissed her, saying he'd soak a bit longer before resting. Fornyang knew well, though her master was mortal, the creator of beings like them must be lonely and sensitive. They had indeed pressed him too hard, but Zhang Fan thought differently. If suffering bought power, it was worth it. After all, who would truly respect a useless master? He gazed at the stone that housed his son, the demon pill. I don't know why you won't show yourself, but with you, at least I'd have some backbone. Zhang Fan sighed, son, your father misses you. Then he turned back inside. Ripples swirled in the water, the stone glowing faintly as though something within was about to hatch. That flicker of killing intent was instantly caught by the blind man in his study. So strong, unmistakably the demon pill's aura, but is this rage for me or for his father? By dawn, funeral banners lined the streets. The conscripted peasants had returned as corpses. Liang Qing stepped forward with a report. My lord, the magistrate has summoned you to the Yemen at noon. When Zhang Fan walked out of the Yemen, he held a brand new official robe in his hands. Liang Cheng, the blind man, rushed over. Congratulations, my lord. Now we're finally part of the system. He added, my lord, I heard this gathering is to deal with the war orphans. Zhang Fan nodded. Hundreds of orphans arrived at the charity hall today. They plan to distribute them among the captains. Liang Chung suggested we can make our move here. If it's divided by rank, you'll only get 1 or 2 spots. That's way too few. I say we take them all in, build our own orphanage, and raise a generation loyal to us. Training halfway never works as well as shaping them from the start. Winning hearts must begin early. Zhang Fan's eyes lit up at the idea. A bold thought took root in his mind. Let's go back. We still have plenty to do. 2 days later in the courtyard, Zhang Fan's aura surged, faint light glowing around him. Master, how much longer until I can truly shine? His master replied, haste makes waste. But at this pace, 3 days at most to reach half-step 9th rank. And within 2 months, you'll break into the true rank. Zhang Fan bowed. Thank you, master. Please rest early. I'll return tomorrow. Ding Hao watched his back, suppressing shock. Aside from those 6 freaks who hit 9th rank in an instant, this man's talent is terrifying. Teaching him feels less like guiding and more like getting crushed. Which noble house sent their prodigy here to experience common life? Liang Chung reported, my lord, this afternoon I'll escort Shu San to sell perfume and soap across the city. Ali and the others will head into the desert again, see if they can bring back some tribesmen. With their pace and intel gathering, that's at least a month. 5 of us will be gone. So from tonight, Madam C will attend you nightly, 24 at your side. Zhang Fan looked awkward. Isn't that a bit much? Liang Chung insisted, your safety cannot be risked, my lord. Besides, a month is more than enough for you to reach the rank. Once he left, Madam C's voice rang from behind. You bastards. 100 letters begging me to cozy up to the lord. Why do you get to run off free while I'm stuck guarding the house? Liang Chung snickered. With us gone, don't you have an even better shot? That night, Madam C finished massaging Zhang Fan, but he asked her to leave. She refused. No way, my lord. I must share your bed to keep you safe. When the blind one was here, he could act like a radar. Now they're all gone. I don't know that stuff. Zhang Fan sighed. Won't this wrong you? She pouted. What? You want me to sleep on the floor? Do you look down on me that much? Zhang Fan gave in. Fine. Truth is I don't mind at all. She beamed. What color do you like, my lord? I'll change into a few sets and let you choose. Off she went excitedly. Zhang Fan, however, knew the night wouldn't be simple and braced himself. The stone that housed the demon pill quivered slightly. Suddenly, darkness swallowed his vision and he collapsed on the bed unconscious. Just then Madam C returned already dressed up. Demon pill, after tonight you'll have to call me mommy. But she sensed something wrong. The clothes in her hand dissolved into paper scraps scattering into the air. A shock wave blasted forward as a massive black claw materialized and struck straight at her. Nyang was instantly crushed in the giant claw, unable to move. The stone hosting the demon pill erupted with dark energy, a sinister laugh echoing from within. Feng Xinyang, what did you want me to call you just now? At dawn, the first ray of sunlight fell across Zhang Fan's face. He slowly woke, rubbing his heavy head. He couldn't remember how he had fallen asleep last night. Turning back, he saw Feng Xinyang lying on a mat by the bed. Weren't we supposed to share the bed? She opened her drowsy eyes. You're awake, my lord. Allow me to help you dress and wash. Zhang Fan felt a tinge of disappointment, so she had only been teasing after all. Under her service, he dressed neatly, never mentioning the events of last night. Yet once he left, Ferdinand muttered in regret, I thought I could devour the lord last night. Demon pill, do you love your father or hate him? Heroes grow old, glory fades, and being a stepmother is the hardest of all. At the yamen, chatter filled the air. The Mei family manor was wiped out last night. The banner of the northern garrison now flies on the city walls. The northern garrison has been suppressed by the court for years. Are they making a move? They say the commander was a captain surnamed Zhang. Could be the county princess pulling strings. Zhang Fan nearly spat out his drink. Everyone's eyes turned toward him. He quickly pieced it together. The blind man squad must have done it in Tumun City last night. A soldier stepped forward. Captain, what's your official rank? Zhang Fan answered, I am Zhang Fan, trade escort captain of the northern garrison stationed at Tiger Head City. The man stiffened. Brother Zhang, what is your army's purpose here? With things at this point, Zhang Fan could only keep up the act. His face darkened. The Northern Marquee House acts as it pleases. Why explain to anyone else? Suddenly, a heavy slam shook the hall. The county magistrate roared. How dare the Northern Marquee defy imperial authority? What crime did the Mei family commit to deserve extermination? Zhang Fan snapped back. Naturally, they committed the crimes they should. The magistrate barked, "This is Tiger Head City, not your Northern Marquee domain." Zhang Fan, clueless about the truth, could only bluff. No comment. The magistrate drew his blade and pressed it to Zhang Fan's throat. At that moment, Zhang Fan felt a strange stir at his waist. The sealing stone of the demon pill radiated killing intent. Shock struck him. The demon pill was awakening. He could sense it crouching on his shoulder. If the blade moved even an inch closer, it would tear the magistrate apart. Suddenly, the magistrate flung the blade aside. He placed a hand on Zhang Fan's shoulder, his demeanor flipping instantly. "How is the family?" As the magistrate softened, the demon pill's aura faded. Zhang Fan replied smoothly, "The young lady and everyone at home are well." He realized immediately this man was a northern garrison plant within the court, mistaking him for an insider. Tears welled in the magistrate's eyes. Since the Marquis was confined in the capital, the young lady alone has shouldered everything. Sigh. Zhang Fan seized the chance, putting on a stern face. "My father is Zhang Chenggong. Our family served the Li clan for 3 generations. The magistrate lit up. "I may have even shared a drink with your father." Zhang Fan was about to reply, but the magistrate quickly covered his mouth. "Too many eyes and ears here." Next time, he patted his chest. "Whatever happens, come to me. If a young lady raises her banner one day, I, Su Wenju, will open the city gates myself and offer Tiger Head City to her." Meanwhile, Zhang Fan was back home enjoying Fornian's massage. After reading the blind man's letter from the north, Zhang Fan finally realized how dangerous the day had been. It said the Mei family manor posed a threat, so they wiped it out completely and told him to use the northern garrison's name to deflect blame. If the top official of Tiger Head City hadn't been an insider, his head would already be rolling. "My lord, after all this training, how long until you truly break through the rank?" Zhang Fan replied smugly, "Just need the right spark. Who knows, I might wake up tomorrow already there." As he drifted off, his vision suddenly went dark, a crushing weight pressing down like a mountain. "Seriously, Ferniang? You're going all in? I'm beat already. Go rest." She instead reminded him the demon pill is a spirit. Leave it outside in the courtyard to absorb the sun and moon. It'll recover faster. Zhang Fan frowned. "Don't try to fool me just because I didn't read much. It's true, my lord. To anyone else, it's just a rock. Nothing to worry about." So he placed the sealing stone outside, not knowing this move would cost him the most precious thing in his life. Once they turned away, the stone flared with demonic energy and the demon pill manifested. He knew exactly what that woman planned to do with his cheap old mantonite, but he was powerless, stewing in frustration. Without the demon pill suppressing her, Fernian went all out. She was gambling that the pill hadn't fully awakened and couldn't enter the room. "Besides, when I set my eyes on a man, I don't let go. Your father doesn't owe you anything. Why should you stop me from dating him?" The next morning, Zhang Fan stretched refreshed. Suddenly, golden light burst from his body. "Damn, did I just break through?" Meanwhile, in Tumen City, the trade hub between Yin, Kingdom, and the western regions, a western merchant was held at knife point by Shuei-san. "We wanted to talk business the easy way, but you forced us to switch methods." Footsteps thundered outside. A squad of armed men stormed in, charging straight at the blind man. He didn't even flinch. He sat down and played the piano. A single Chopin nocturne unleashed a wave of sound, blasting them across the room. "Now let's talk terms. We'll give you perfume, soap, even the formula. All you need is to supply us with counterfeit northern garrison gear." "I know you can get it," the merchant frowned. "You've been here for days. Why wait until now to act?" The blind man grinned darkly. "Because we were waiting for top-up." That very morning, Zhang Fan had broken through to 9th rank. Even his captive master Ding Hao admitted his speed was terrifying. Zhang Fan asked excitedly, "Is this black energy of mine rare?" "Honestly, pretty common." Ding Hao was dumbstruck. 10 years of grinding had brought him here, but Zhang Fan did it overnight. "Since you've reached the rank, I guess I'm no longer needed as your teacher." Zhang Fan smirked. "Thanks for reminding me. For Nyang, he's useless now. Drag him out and chop him in a fertilizer." Ding Hao shuddered. "Good grief. No sense of a master's grace at all. Zhang Fan's face softened. Just kidding. Look at you scared stiff. But Fornian got the hidden message. Old man, 2 choices, be fertilizer or be the Lord's hound. She leaned into Zhang Fan's arms purring. Am I right? Truly beautiful women are the most ruthless. So what's it gonna be? Ding Hao lowered his head. I'm useless now. Can't do anything but waste food. Ferniang sneered. That's not your problem. As a Lord's dog, you're not like the others. Ordinary dogs break a leg and end up in a stew, but the Lord's dog, he'll have someone put that leg back on. Ding Hao felt struck by lightning. I can really recover. He hurled his wheelchair aside, crawling to Zhang Fan and shouting, Master, I'm willing. With his goal achieved, Zhang Fan turned calmly. Ferniang, heal him up, then assign him work. Moments later, Ferniang finished treating him and hurried back. Zhang Fan asked, didn't you say before you had no way to restore him? She answered guiltily. I just remembered a method. She couldn't admit it was because of last night. Then she threw herself into his arms. My lord, I want to practice more tonight. Maybe I'll recall even better techniques. Just then, a servant reported someone from the Yemen waiting in the hall. Zhang Fan entered and saw it was the Yemen secretary. Captain Zhang, the day after tomorrow, a tribute convoy must be sent to the Marquis estate. The Lord asks you to escort it. In a few days, it will be the lady's 50th birthday. You haven't forgotten, have you? The Marquis household raised me like family. How could I forget? But such a small matter. Why bother you to come in person? The secretary lowered his voice. In truth, the magistrate wishes to sneak into the convoy. With your help, he hopes to meet the lady and the county princess. Zhang Fan's heart lurched. Damn, this could expose everything. That night, he and Fornian discussed. She suggested, why not disguise ourselves and rob the tribute convoy? Later, we can spin any excuse we like. That's the only way. You'll go in disguise, kill Su Wanzhou, and silence him. Tomorrow, I'll summon the centurion and make sure he's in line. Ferniang suddenly sat on his lap. Since you already have a plan, shouldn't you let me practice my skills with you now? The man raised his wine cup like a king of stocks in his prime, and his officers all bowed, following his lead through pressure and persuasion. Zhang Fan had convinced the centurions that he was deeply tied to the northern Marquis house. From the next room came angry shouts. It was the perfect chance to make an example. He kicked the door open, finding an official about to force himself on a woman. That official was none other than Chun Liang, registrar of Tiger Head City. Chun Liang froze, then cursed, Do you know who I am, dog? In disguise, Ding Hao recognized the woman, shouted away, She's Wang Li's wife, the man who died for me. Zhang Fan sneered, He's forcing her and you're not angry? Why aren't you tearing him apart? Ding Hao hesitated, He's an official. I feared it might harm you, my lord. Zhang Fan roared, Then what are you to me? Ding Hao stammered, A servant. Wrong. You're my dog, and my dog never swallows humiliation. Bite him. I'll take the blame. Ding Hao understood instantly. His eyes hardened as he advanced on Chun Liang. The registrar, still oblivious, pointed and spat insults. The next moment, his finger was snapped clean, a scream ripping from his throat, then a heavy kick sent him flying across the room. Zhang Fan crouched to question Xiao Ziwei, but then caught sight of something in the corner of his eye. What the hell did women in this era already have lingerie? He realized instantly. The blind man often mentioned sending floating water to gather intel from the captain's wife. So it was through her? So-called floating water must have meant returning water. That blind bastard really had tricks up his sleeve. Ding Hao dragged him over. Looking at the battered Chun Liang, Zhang Fan knew this man could not be left alive. This must be done cleanly. The rest of you move the troops now. A centurion asked, puzzled, Why deploy soldiers? Zhang Fan sneered coldly. He touched my brother's woman. His whole family dies. Soon after, Zhang Fan charged through the streets on horseback with a mass of soldiers thundering behind. Everyone knew the Chun clan had long bullied the people. Now, with Captain Zhang leading, they rallied as one. The blind man had often taught him, stay high profile. That's the only way to secure your place so no one dares provoke you. Hide in fear and trouble will never end. Before long, they arrived at the Chun estate. Zhang Fan raised his right hand ready to give the order when Magistrate Su Wanzhou rode up on his beast. Deploying troops without orders is a grave crime. Come with me. I will hear your explanation. Moments later, they entered a tea house nearby. As they stepped in, 2 guards barked, "Captain Zheng, surrender your blade." Zheng Fan snorted, unleashing a surge of killing aura. The guards froze. So young, yet already 9th rank, this man's backing had to be terrifying. Zheng Fan strode in boldly. Surely today's uproar would land Su Wonzhou in hot water. After all, how could he ignore such chaos under his nose? But once the door closed, Su Wonzhou clapped his shoulder. "Well done. With a marquis confined in the capital, we must prepare early. Using the Chun clan to ignite the soldiers' fury, brilliant. You've won their hearts without meaning to. When the time comes to rebel, it'll be twice as easy." He patted Zhang Fan again. "Go all out. Tomorrow, you'll escort the tribute convoy out of the city. I'll cover the backlash. We'll meet again tomorrow." From outside came furious shouts. "Zhang Fan, you unleash your troops like a tyrant. I'll report you to the throne. Let's see if Tiger Head City still belongs to Yen." The secretary stepped forward. "Captain Zheng, my lord's health is frail. Please watch over him on the road." Then he turned sharply. "Move out." A flood of soldiers surged into the Qin estate. Zheng Fan told Fournier, "Let's head back. We leave tomorrow." The next day, in the tribute escort convoy, Zhang Fan eyed a large carriage draped in heavy cloth. "This is Su Wonzhou's gift for the marquis wife." Ding Hao replied, "Yes, my lord. Inside is a rare beast, the red wolf." Pulling back the curtain, Zhang Fan saw Su Wonzhou gnawing on a roast chicken. While behind him, a massive wolf glowed with crimson light. Zhang Fan walked in with a smile. Su Wonzhou didn't even pause his eating, chatting idly between bites. But Zhang Fan's thoughts were consumed with one thing: how to kill this fat bastard. Suddenly, the curtain flew open and a scruffy but hulking brute entered, scratching his foot as he came in. Su even tossed him a chicken leg. Damn it, the fat bastard really brought a guard. This just got tricky. After finishing the whole roast chicken, the burly man left the carriage without a word. Zhang Fan finally spoke. "My lord, if you're not full, I can order another meal." "That fellow only ate a drumstick, can't be satisfied." Su frowned. "That man wasn't yours." Both froze. Only then did they realize he had slipped into the convoy. Zhang Fan ordered search. 2 hours later, no trace. Looking up, he saw the mysterious man calmly boiling hot pot over a campfire. Disguised as a soldier, Feng Yang stood stiff with fear. Zheng Feng noticed immediately. She hadn't struck first but took a defensive stance. That meant the stranger was stronger. Zheng Feng boldly sat beside him, telling Feng Yang to fetch the sauce plates. He thought grimly, "Let's see what this guy wants. Worst case, the blind one will burn incense at my grave next year." He passed the prepared sauce to the man and ordered Feng Yang to bring his best wine. Zheng Fan started chatting. "Brother, I've got plenty of good stuff. Once this is done, come back with me. Any condition, I'll agree." The scruffy man smiled faintly. "Anything?" He pointed at Feng Yang. "She's not bad." Zheng Fan growled, "Then draw your blade. She's not for sale. I won't trade my woman for my life." The man pointed again. "He's not bad either." This time his finger aimed at Zheng Fan. The demon pill inside him reacted violently. How could this man see through him? The pill surged forth, preparing to silence him. The man's gaze turned cold. "By the barbarian god, break." A surge of spirit energy blasted out, hurling Zheng Fan and the pill away in an instant. The demon pill was forced back into suppression. Zheng Fan trembled. "First time here and I meet such a monster, a barbarian too, 7th rank, 6th or even higher." The man picked his teeth. "Your food is fresh and good. I get what you're after. In the past, maybe I'd have accepted, but my time is short. You're decent, but compared to your woman and that thing inside you, you fall short. Just cook for me along the way and in return, I won't kill you. Maybe before I die, I'll even help you kill that fat man in the carriage." Zhang Fan blurted, horrified. "No. You misunderstand. He's my elder." The man replied flatly, "On that carriage, I clearly felt your killing intent toward him." "Never mind. Just give me a tent tonight." The man was terrifying. Zhang Fan bowed, "Of course. May I know your name?" "If it's inconvenient, forget I asked." The man said calmly, "No trouble." "And you?" Zhang Fan's heart jolted. "Chateau clan, what rotten luck." He quickly lied, "I'm family." After all, he had slain 2 Chattawat leaders to rise this far. In camp, they called him Captain Zheng, but how long could he hide? And this guy didn't sneak in for food and wine. Damn it, this feels more dangerous than escorting a nuke. By dusk the next day, Zhong Fan returned to the carriage hunting for chance. "My lord, by tomorrow afternoon will arrive. Bear with it a bit longer." Then he noticed how the hell was the fat man eating so well. Roast chicken last night, roast venison tonight, all piping hot and fresh. That meant he had people in a convoy and with serious pull. Tomorrow they'd reach the Marquis estate. If Zhong Fan didn't act now, it'd be too late. Suddenly, Keishi's voice came. "Want him dead? Just do it." The demon pill inside Zhong Fan flared, demonic energy leaking out. But Keishi simply patted his shoulder and the aura was crushed instantly. Zhong Fan forced a smile. "Senior, doing it now might bring trouble." Keishi packed his things. "Kill him if you want. I'm leaving anyway. Come on, I'll walk with you." Near the camp, the barbarians held a ritual. First to the barbarian god, second to the totem, third to the desert sands. Keishi knelt before the candlelight in solemn prayer. Zhong Fan thought, "I'd better kneel too. Might as well pray for survival." As he bowed, Keishi frowned. "Kid, why are you kowtowing?" Zhong Fan grinned. "Senior, our custom is to bow to every god and spirit. Doesn't cost me anything." Keishi smirked. "True enough." He grabbed the offerings from the altar and began eating. Zhong Fan blinked. "You're eating before the rite is done? Isn't that disrespectful?" Keishi said calmly he won't mind, because the god I worship is myself. The northern Marquis estate stood on the very ruins of the barbarian royal court. 100 years ago, the first Marquis crushed the court and built his manor here as a warning to his heirs. In just a century, not only had the lost lands been reclaimed, but the barbarians were shattered, forced even the Lu royal clan to bow. Such was the terror of the Marquis line. Zhong Fan's eyes caught a carriage carved with dragon motifs, its grandeur unmatched. That must be from the Yen royal family, perhaps a prince sent to garrison. For the emperor to send royals here in such tense times, it shows how deeply he fears the Marquis. That night, the convoy camped outside the manor. In his tent, Zhong Fan shared one last meal with Chateau Acacia. Neither spoke, yet they raised their cups in silent accord. Fernan watched the barbarian warily. At the gates of their destination, what was this man's true intent? Keishi sighed over his wine. "Shame I never drank such fine liquor before. Another sip and I'll be reluctant to die." Zhang Feng smirked. "Then drink as you die." "Well said, little brother." A centurion entered to report. "Message received, my lord. Our convoy's tribute will not be inspected until after nightfall." "Then captain, the magistrate awaits your word." Zhang Fan and Forn Young exchanged a smile. "So you were Su and Ju's man." In the next instant, threads of silk flashed. The centurion's body shredded to pieces, falling in a bloody heap. Keishi tossed a chunk of flesh into his mouth and stood. "I'm full. Time to go." As he turned to leave, Zhang Fan called after him. "Take the wine. Better to have company on the road." Keishi stared deep into him. "One more time, your name?" "A man keeps his name. I am Zheng Fanli." Leaving camp, he strode to Su Wanzhou's carriage and with one hand lifted the entire vehicle, horses screaming in terror. His eyes burned, fixed on a Marquis manor. Then he charged, carrying the carriage down the slope. From the manor burst countless golden armored riders, blades gleaming, killing intent fierce. In moments, they moved to surround him. Keishi roared, "I am Chateau Keishi, once left king of the barbarian court, come to deliver birthday wishes." With that, he hurled the carriage skyward and it shattered against the Marquis gate with a thunderous crash. A voice from within the estate. "The lady says, we thank the left king for his kindness. Why not enter and share a drink?" Keishi growled, "I bring my own wine. I've cast aside my royal title. Today I stand apart from the court. Only the princess must come out." The lady replied, "The princess is young and reckless. A hero like the left king should not quarrel with the young." Can she burst into laughter? Young and reckless? Then why did she slaughter 5,000 of my women and children? What crime had they? I come as a Chateau exile to demand justice. As northern riders surged at him, he charged without hesitation. For years, barbarians and Een had been locked in blood feud. On the battlefield, strength was law, but the Marquis army had butchered 5,000 innocents of his clan, no survivors. So he cast aside his title and came as a common exile to claim their blood debt. Again, the voice from within. "The lady says, if such a hero falls here, it will be the court's loss. The barbarians are fading. Think carefully." Keishi snatched a rider's spear, spun it, and leveled it at the manor. "Princess, come out and face me." The voice turned cold. Northern Army, kill the barbarian. Countless riders charged as one. Casey gazed at the shattered wine jug at his feet. Such good wine, pity I drank it too late. Had I tasted it sooner, perhaps I'd never have come. I drowned myself in drink instead. He squared his stance ready for the charge. Alone, he faced 3,000 riders. This battle would shake the world. From a distant hill, another group watched. Eunuch Zhang, that barbarian has broken 8 formations. For the prince's safety, should we ask the Marquis to admit him inside? Zhang sneered, why hurry? If the Marquis estate cannot crush one barbarian, how could it trouble his majesty? The aide hesitated, but swords and spears know no mercy. If the fight spreads here, a young voice from the carriage cut him off. This prince cannot enter. We chose to wait our turn for inspection. If now we beg for shelter, what face has a royal house? Mine is nothing, but if the dynasty is mocked, we all pay the price. With that, laughter and soft voices drifted from within the carriage, leaving the attendants helpless. In war, when a top warrior appears, you send an equal to hold him. But the Northern Army used only cavalry, grinding him down with sheer lives. Was it possible that among 300,000 there were no true masters? You're wrong. The Northern Army has experts aplenty. What they're showing today is this: even with cavalry alone they can crush any foe. Who would dare defy the Marquis house after this? Just then, a carriage door opened and a figure in royal robes stepped out. Oh, still fighting? I finished my business and the barbarian isn't dead yet. It was Ji Qingdua, the 6th Prince of Yen, reckless in appearance and reckless in truth. Watching Xiao Kaisher cut down soldiers, he quipped, Eunuch Zhang, if you fought him, how long would you last? The eunuch sweated. With my meager skill, perhaps a few breaths, long enough for your highness to flee. Shang Guaning bowed, your highness avoids court affairs. Why did you volunteer to attend the Marquis lady's birthday? Naturally, to meet my future second sister-in-law. She has wits, schemes, and backing. If misfortune falls, better to keep another path open. Shin pressed on. They say your highness is wild, but I know you're sharp. Why not fight for the throne? The prince waved it off. After a great ruler, the heir must guard the borders. That's why my second brother is father's choice. Mid-conversation, Eunuch Zhang gasped, your highness, trouble. Chateau Akechi was charging straight at them, blade in hand. Guards rushed to shield the prince. From a distance, Zhang Fan murmured to Forn Young, thank you. Let's go. He's given me a chance at fortune. Ding Hao blinked. My lord, what do you mean? See that black dragon carriage? We're saving the prince. By now, had already torn through the prince's bodyguards. Eunuch Jean stepped forward desperately. Barbarian, this is a royal prince. Do you not fear Yan's wrath on the desert tribes? In an instant, Keishi seized his wrist and flung him aside like nothing. His cold eyes locked on the prince waiting. The 6th prince realized and bolted. His target is me. Haishi snarled, little friend, this prince is my gift to you. He hurled his blade. Catch. At the last instant, a dark figure dashed before the prince. Zhang Fan. He blocked the strike with all his might, but his weapon shattered and the blade pierced his shoulder. The night before, Zhang Fan had asked, you know this is death. Why go? She answered, on the battlefield, men may die, but women, children, the old, even if enslaved, they should not be slaughtered. I served the barbarian king, but my heart stayed with the Chateau tribe. I dreamed of giving them peace. Now that dream is ash. Zhang Fan sighed, then I won't try to stop you. But tomorrow, before you die, will you play along with one performance? All I want is wealth and honor. Consider it your last good deed. Keishi nodded without hesitation. Zhang Fan frowned. So ready to agree? Surely not for 2 days of food and wine. Suddenly, 2 children ran from the tents. Zhang Fan understood at once. They were the shadow of orphans he had spared earlier. Keishi had learned the truth. Keishi looked back with a smile. You gave my tribe's blood a chance to live, helping you once before I die. That's a fair trade.
Alright, that's the end of the story. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.